Okay, be honest. How many of us are out there looking like a total question mark hunched over our phones?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, it's like the screens are the enemy of good posture these days, right?
Totally.
And it sounds like a lot of you are checking out posture correctors to, try to fix that.
Yeah.
So you've come to the right place because today we are diving deep into the world of posture correctors.
How good.
We've got tons of research and articles ready to go.
Awesome.
But we're going to be focusing on one specific product to kind of anchor our discussion.
Okay.
It's the Shaperky posture corrector for women and men. You can find it on Amazon.
Got it.
Now, before you think this is just a product review, it's not.
Okay.
We're using the Shaperky as a jumping off point to really understand posture correction in general.
Makes sense.
So we're going to be talking about how well these things actually work, what people are saying about them in the reviews.
Interesting.
We'll even dig into some of the promises they make in the product description. But first, what even is a posture corrector?
Well, it's more than just something that, straightens your back.
Okay, so it's not that simple.
Not quite. Think of it as like a training tool for your body, helping you get that proper spine alignment.
Ah, okay. So it's like a temporary thing to help you learn.
Exactly. It's like training wheels for your back.
Love that analogy. So it's not a permanent fix then?
Not really, no.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worth noting that there are actually a bunch of different types out there.
Oh, interesting. Like what?
Some are for your lower back, some for your shoulders. The Shaperky one we're looking at, this is for your upper back, like for that hunched over look people get.
Makes sense. From, too much time on their phones.
Exactly.
Now, looking at the Shaperky, I mean, the Amazon description is making some big claims. They say it builds confidence, it's got this innovative design, it's comfy, breathable,
Right.
It'll relieve pain, and, it's invisible under clothes.
Well, some of that's pretty standard for these products.
How so?
Comfort and breathability, that's a big deal because no one wants to be stuck in something, uncomfortable all day.
For sure.
The pain relief part, that's common too, especially for upper back stuff.
Right, because bad posture can totally cause pain.
Yeah, it can lead to all sorts of tension and pain. So if a brace helps you align better.
It makes sense that it could help.
Exactly. Though it's important to remember, not all these claims are backed by, hard science.
Interesting point. So what about the confidence boost and the innovative design stuff? Is that just marketing hype?
It could be. I mean, good posture can make you look more confident, sure, but it's not a guarantee,
Right.
The design part, though, that's where it gets interesting.
Okay, how so?
They talk about adjustable straps and removable bars and all this padding.
Yeah.
We'd have to see if that actually makes a difference or if it's just, fancy marketing.
Well, speaking of what makes a difference, I've been reading through the Amazon reviews, and there's this really interesting contrast. Some people say the Shaperky is super comfy, but then they're like, it doesn't really do anything.
Huh. So is it comfortable or effective?
It is weird, right?
Yeah, that gets at a big challenge with these things.
What do you mean?
Well, you could have a super tight brace that forces you into perfect posture,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't want to wear that for long.
No way.
But if it's too comfy, it might not actually help change anything.
Ah.
Remember, the goal is to train your muscles,
Right.
not just hold you in place.
To build that muscle memory so you can have good posture on your own.
Exactly.
So it's about finding that balance.
Yeah, enough support to make a difference, but still comfortable enough to actually wear.
So it's not as simple as just strapping yourself in.
Oh, there's more to it than that.
Okay, I've got a few reviews here that really stood out to me.
Okay, let's hear them.
One person said it helped their back pain, but the sizing was a nightmare.
Yeah, sizing can be tough.
Another one said it was super comfy under clothes, but they weren't convinced it was actually working.
Interesting.
And then there's this one that's like a full-on analysis of the support bar.
Wow.
This person really broke down the pros and cons.
It seems like everyone's got a different experience.
Totally. What do you think this tells us about posture correctors in general?
It shows that there's no one-size-fits-all solution.
Right. Everyone's body is different.
Yeah, and everyone's got different posture problems and comfort levels.
Like the sizing issue, that seems like a common complaint.
It is. Finding that perfect fit, it can take some trial and error.
So it's not just ordering your usual size and hoping for the best?
Not always, no.
What about the reviewer who was comfy but not sure if it was effective? What's going on there?
That's a good question. It could be that just feeling supported makes you more aware of your posture.
So you feel like it's working, even if it isn't?
Maybe. But that doesn't always mean it's making a real change. you know?
So it's like thinking you're in shape because you bought new workout clothes.
Exactly. It's
Wow.
more than just the gear.
That's a great point. So easy to fall into that trap. Now, the review that was all about the support bar, does that tell us anything important?
It highlights a key feature, for sure. A lot of these braces have a rigid part, like a bar or a panel.
Right.
It's about finding that balance between support and flexibility. Too rigid, and it's uncomfortable.
But too flexible, and it might not work.
Exactly.
So again, it's about finding that sweet spot.
Yeah, enough support to help, but not so much that it feels restrictive.
Okay, let's say someone's listening to this and they're thinking, all right, I need to get one of these.
Sure.
What are the most important things they should keep in mind?
First, figure out why you have bad posture in the first place.
Oh, like, is it weak back muscles or tight chest muscles?
Could be. Or is it just, sitting all day?
Or all of the above?
Probably a combo. A posture corrector can be a tool, but it's not going to magically fix everything.
So realistic expectations are important.
Absolutely. And seriously, I can't stress this enough. Talk to a professional.
Like a doctor or a physical therapist.
Yeah, they can help you figure out if a brace is even right for you.
And they can give you advice on how to use it properly.
Exactly. It's about taking your posture seriously,
Right. It's not just slapping on a brace and hoping for the best.
Exactly.
It's about being proactive about your health.
Absolutely. It's like you can't just buy fancy running shoes and expect to run a marathon.
Right. You got to train for it.
You need to build those muscles.
So a posture corrector is just one part of the solution. What else can people do alongside wearing a brace to help their posture long term?
Well, strength training is key. You want to focus on exercises that really work those back muscles.
Like what kind of exercises?
Things like rows and pull-ups.
Oh, okay.
Even just squeezing your shoulder blades together, that can help a lot.
So we've got strengthening. What about stretching? I always hear that tight chest muscles can mess up your posture.
Totally. Stretching is super important. You want to make sure you're stretching your chest and shoulders.
Makes sense.
And even your hip flexors. Those get tight from sitting all the time.
Right. I've heard yoga and Pilates can be good for that.
Yeah, they can be great for flexibility and just like being more aware of your body.
So strengthening, stretching, anything else?
Honestly, just being mindful of how you're holding yourself throughout the day can make a big difference.
Oh, okay.
Like when you're sitting, standing, walking, just pay attention.
Like if your shoulders are slumped or your head is sticking out.
Yeah, those little adjustments can really add up over time.
It's like those reminders to drink water, but for your posture.
Exactly.
Okay, back to the Shaperky for a sec. They say it can relieve pain from, sitting at a desk all day or looking down at your phone.
Uh-huh.
Is there really a connection between posture and pain?
Oh, absolutely. When you have bad posture, it puts stress on your muscles and joints, even your nerves.
Oh.
And that can lead to pain in your back, neck, shoulders, even headaches.
So fixing your posture could actually help with that.
It could, but it's not a replacement for medical treatment.
Oh, yeah, of course.
If you're having serious pain, you need to see a doctor.
To figure out what's really going on.
Exactly.
Okay, another thing the Shaperky boasts about is that it's invisible in cloth.
Yeah.
A lot of the reviewers seem to like that, especially people who wear it to work or out in public.
Sure.
Is that like a common thing for posture correctors to focus on, being discreet?
It's definitely becoming more important.
Why is that?
People are more aware of posture now, but nobody wants to feel self-conscious wearing a big clunky brace.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So manufacturers are trying to make them more comfortable and less noticeable.
Like how workout clothes have changed so much over the years.
Totally. Remember those neon spandex outfits?
Oh, yeah. No thanks.
It's about being functional and looking good.
But are we sacrificing effectiveness to make these things invisible?
That's the question, isn't it? There's always a trade-off. A slimmer brace might be more comfy,
And less noticeable.
but it might not give you as much support.
So it really depends on what you're looking for.
Exactly.
So to kind of recap what we've talked about so far, posture correctors can be helpful, but they need to be part of a bigger plan.
Yeah, like we talked about, strengthening, stretching, and just being aware of your posture.
And when you're choosing a brace, think about how much support you need and how important comfort and discretion are to you.
Absolutely.
Now, thinking about the future of posture correctors, what other cool features could be added to make them even better?
Ooh, that's a fun choice. This field is always evolving, with new materials and designs and tech.
Okay.
Imagine a posture corrector that not only supports you, but also tracks your posture all day long.
Whoa.
It could give you feedback, even suggest personalized exercises.
That would be amazing, like a personal trainer for your back.
Exactly. Or maybe a brace with sensors that help you become more aware of your posture in real time.
That sounds super futuristic, like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Right.
I love it. This deep dive has been so interesting. We started with a product on Amazon, and now we're talking about the future of posture correction.
It's crazy how much there is to learn about, even something as simple as a back brace.
For real. Okay, one thing that struck me about the Shaperky today,
Yeah.
it uses straps to pull your shoulders back.
Right.
Are there other approaches to posture correction that don't involve that pulling feeling?
Absolutely. Some use padding or support panels to kind of nudge you into the right position.
Interesting.
There are also some that focus on strengthening specific muscles, like braces with resistance bands.
So it's not always about forcing your body into a certain position.
Nope. Sometimes it's about training your muscles to support good posture naturally.
That makes sense. And it goes back to what we were talking about before. Posture correction is a whole process.
Yeah, it's about support, exercise, and awareness.
Totally. Okay, before we move on, you mentioned earlier that it's important to figure out the root cause of bad posture. Can you talk a bit more about that? Like, what are some common things that cause people to have bad posture?
Well, a big one is just sitting too much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
When you spend hours slumped over a desk or hunched over your phone, your muscles kind of adapt to those positions.
Right.
So you get tight chest muscles and weak back muscles.
So even if you wear a posture corrector for part of the day, if you go back to slouching the rest of the time, you're not really fixing the problem.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to build a house, but the foundation is all messed up.
You got to fix the foundation first.
Exactly. You need to address those underlying issues if you want to make a real change.
So it's about more than just wearing a brace for a few hours.
Right. You have to make actual lifestyle changes.
To like support good posture in the long run.
Exactly. And a big part of that is moving more, getting some exercise.
Okay, so how does that help?
Well, even just taking short breaks to stand up and stretch, walk around a bit, that can make a huge difference.
Little things add up.
They really do. You know, another thing that can affect your posture is stress.
Oh, interesting. I've noticed that when I'm stressed, I tend to hunch my shoulders up. Is that a thing?
It totally is. When you're stressed, your body tenses up, and that can lead to those rounded shoulders and that hunched over posture.
So if you can manage your stress, it could actually improve your posture.
Exactly. Things like deep breathing, meditation, even yoga can help with stress and posture.
It's all connected.
It really is. Posture isn't just about how you look. It's about your overall well-being.
Mind and body.
Exactly.
Well, this deep dive has definitely given me a new appreciation for posture correctors.
Yeah.
They're not just a quick fix or a vanity thing. They can be part of a bigger effort to improve your health.
Absolutely.
And with all the technology that's out there, who knows what the future holds for posture correction?
I'm excited to see what new innovations come out.
Me too. So to wrap things up, whether you're already using a posture corrector or just thinking about it, remember, it's a journey. Be patient with yourself, be consistent, and don't be afraid to ask for help from a professional.
Good advice.
And most importantly, keep learning. This is just the beginning.
There's so much more to discover.
All right, that's it for today's deep dive. Until next time, keep those shoulders back and that head held high.